Yeah, what else was there? What else was there? Did Bondi Beach, did Sydney Harbour, of course, did Sydney Harbour. With the Harbour Bridge, went up onto the Harbour Bridge. Fantastic piece of engineering and gorgeous view from up there. I don't know whether I've got any film footage. The camera did mess about a couple of times. So if I have, it'll be included. If I haven't, it won't. Go and Google it. There's a car. I'm alright, I'm alright. It wasn't that close. I could have manoeuvred. I'd been alright. I could probably just slung the bike down on its side, slid underneath the car and just re-emerge the other side, back up onto my wheels, like they do in the films. I taught them how to do it as a church. Waffling again has put me off what I was saying. Was I saying anything interesting? Sydney Harbour, there you go. Yeah, got alongside Sydney Opera House, or the Opera House at Sydney. And it was big, but it was like, well, it looks bigger in the pictures. Until you get round the front, and then you can see the complete width of it and height of it and all the rest of it. Because obviously walking down the side, you can then see the side. Obviously, hence side. The word side used in the... Yeah, anyway, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, until you get around the front of it, and then it's like, blah, yeah, it's monstrous. Monstrous. We did go inside, there was nothing going on at the time, and we only got as far as the souvenir shop. I went for a wee. I went for a wee in Sydney Opera House. There's my claim to fame. I'm brilliant, you know, brilliant. Went for a wee and bought some souvenirs. Sad tourist, but I did have a wee. The toilets are nice. I wouldn't say I'd recommend, you know, if you're in the area and you need a wee, there is a toilet in Sydney Opera House. But I wouldn't say go to Sydney Opera House for a wee or a poo. Poo, he said poo. But I did have a wee and the toilets were nice. A little bit disappointed. We sat down underneath there's a like an underneath walkway and an above walkway next to Sydney Opera House, and underneath there's a lot of like cafe restaurant bits.
Do other stuff, won't they?
and we sat in underneath there for our lunch. Which is very nice. I had like cod, big cod like goujons, and they were bloody handsome with a lovely tartare sauce. Tarty sauce to dip my goujons in, which is gorgeous. And I was starving, so it didn't take long for demolishing that dish, I can tell you. But the seagulls were a problem. They were interfering. They never openly attacked anyone. There was one woman who was walking around eating a sandwich, which deserved to be attacked, and she got attacked and lost half her sandwich and nearly half her arm, which was good. Which was good. Woman seriously maimed by seagull. That was good. It was good. If only I called it on film, that would have been even better. I'd be a YouTube sensation. Seagull takes woman's arm, spits out the sandwich and keeps the arm. Anyway, yes, the seagulls were a bit of a problem. Never openly attacked anyone who was seated in the restaurant areas, but they were right in amongst the tables, and as soon as you got up, and I do mean the second you got up, it was their meal. Whatever was left, they was in and having it. Fair play to the waiting staff. They were very quick at clearing the tables, but the seagulls were quicker on several occasions. So yeah, it was really good. Lovely views, lots of tourists. I mean, I know I was a tourist, but bloody hell, a lot of tourists. And non-stop ferries going from there. Ferries and whale watching, seal watching, boats that you can just go and play on the waves. All like tour boats and tours and ferries, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I got footage of that, so I'll stick some of that in. Which was at times looked just chaotic and mad, but it was all sort of an organised chaotic and mad, so it all worked. But yeah, again, beautiful area, loads of walking. I'm not built for walking. I've said this in previous videos. I ain't built for walking. I'm built for eating whilst lounging on the sofa, or indeed someone feeding me while I'm lounging on the sofa. That would be better. I've got Roman blood, I feel. Yeah, so again, a gorgeous day. My daughter was working from home while we was there, so she's doing a few hours in the morning before we was going out, and she had a lot to catch up on, so me and the missus went on our own to Sydney Harbour.
Hang on, we got it.
Which was a lovely day out, and it was nice to have a day on our own, messing about. Which is what we did. Yeah, and then we met my daughter and her boyfriend in a restaurant in Sydney, which I don't think has been open very long. It's a very trendy place, apparently. They did ram it down our throats that it's a very trendy place and a very chic place, and they're trying to make it a really good whole experience, whole dining experience, not just the food but the fun of dining out and all the rest of it. Anyway, it's a Viking themed restaurant, based on the Viking gods, and it's called Molyneux. Molyneux, is that right? I probably mispronounced that, but that's the name of Thor's hammer, and that's the name of this restaurant. And the drinks were horrible, in my opinion, and I'm not a big drinker, so you know, I'd pretty much stick to lager. I did have a few cocktails while I was in Sydney, which is a bit gay. I might have a picture of that as well, me with a strawberry daiquiri. Yeah, and even the lager, which was massively overpriced, I do feel. It was about $12 for what, it wasn't even a schooner, which is less than a pint. It was like half a pint for $12, and it was nasty lager. More on the bounds of like an IPA, where you've got that aftertaste and thickness to it, and you know, I'm definitely a soft southerner when it comes to lagers, and I do like my Fosters and my Carlin and all that sort of stuff. So this was a tad nasty, but expensive. As I say, $12, which has got to be about, I don't know, 7 or 8 quid for half a lager. And then we had a meal there, which again was massively overpriced, I feel. Was a great idea with the Viking theme, and then a guy turns up with a roll which he unrolls and holds up, and you choose your weapon of choice, as they say, a weapon of choice to go with your meal, which was a selection of knives, and big bloody knives and all, big heavy killing hunting knives, to go with your dinner. So you had a poxy little fork in one hand and this massive knife in the other hand, which was amusing to start with, but the functionality side of it was a bit lacking. And what did I have? I had the lamb chump, which is a massive lump of lamb, which was very well cooked, very nice, a little bit overcooked if anything. Very nice, just fell off the bone, and there was loads of it. But that was like $60, and you didn't get anything. Well, there's a bit of kale with it. What else was there? There was nothing else really on the plate. A big puff ball of something, which I couldn't make out what it actually was. Yeah, so you paid extra for your extras, which to me were actually part of the meal. So it was another $12 for potatoes, which were very nice, in a horseradish sauce. New potatoes and horseradish sauce, which $12 for about, what was there, 8 potatoes, all about that stuff. So about 8 quid for them. And then I had roast carrots with it, which was gorgeous. I can't think what they topped them with, but it was gorgeous. I can't fault the meal. It was absolutely gorgeous. It's just the price. It was phenomenal. You know, a bowl of carrots, which were chunky carrots, as I say, really well coated in whatever it was. It was a coating of something, and they were $8. So about, I don't know, 5.5, 6 quid. So my meal was, what was the chump? The chump was 60 quid. 60 quid, no, $60, sorry. So that's around your $40 quid mark. So my meal was probably in the region of 55 quid just for my meal, which was just a lamb roast. When all's said and done, it was a lamb roast. And I've been to pubs and I've paid 15, 20 quid for a lamb roast, and yes, I got a quarter of the meat, but it was a whole meal, and you know what I mean, with my roast potatoes and new potatoes and mixed veg, 3 or 4 different sorts of veg, not priced individually, but you could have extra if you want it. It certainly didn't come to 55 quid for a meal. So we all had a starter. Well, I only had a starter because my daughter and her boyfriend wanted a starter. I think that was about $12, and all it was roasted cauliflower in like a peanut sauce, which was nice, but $12. Again, it's about 8 quid for cauliflower, roasted cauliflower. So the whole meal, because we didn't have that many drinks. Oh, the table water. Everywhere you go, they give you table water. They give you table water. I think the sparkling costs, but as a whole, still table water is free. But here, it's not free. But they don't tell you that. They don't say this costs. They're just at your shoulder every moment that there's an empty glass anywhere on the table. Would you like more water? And yeah, we'll have a bit more water. Helps clean the palate. That's not a wooden palate. It's like your taste palate in your gob. And I think the final bill for water was $24, and it's like no mention was said at the start of it or any time during the meal. Would you like to buy some water, or the water costs this much? It was, do you want some water? Which again, I thought, that is cheeky. I wonder how many other people thought it was free. But there you go. And I think the total bill, starter, 4 people, starter and main meal each, and probably a couple of drinks, was like 300 quid. Yeah, $500, so about 300 quid. 300 quid. It was like, bloody hell. But that was my daughter's treat to us on our final night in Sydney, so who cares how much it cost? And that's probably why I had the lamb chump, which was the most expensive meat there. Anyway, you probably heard me waffle on far too much about Sydney, but that's it. I had 2 weeks in Sydney, which the footage you've just watched, or will have half watched, and it was fantastic. Fantastic seeing the daughter. Fantastic place to visit. Would I go back? I'll have to go back because my daughter lives there. Or if she carries on living there, I'll have to go back. But I'm more inclined to hire a car and perhaps shoot up the Gold Coast or something. Organise it with them properly, and us all to go up the Gold Coast and have a couple of 3 days up there or something. I don't think I want to trawl round Sydney anymore. I don't mind a bit of shopping, but I'm not going back to a place that I know is just a lot of shops. So there you go, that's my take on Sydney. Fantastic time, fantastic place, loved it. So there you go, go there if you get a chance.